Hi everyone, welcome back to Empowering Native Wellness. My name is Kamaile Elderts and I'm the Outreach Multimedia Coordinator of Generation Indigenous. And this is, go ahead.
Hi everyone. My name is Ellie Connolly. I am the Program Coordinator here with Sibi. And I go by she, her, Aya pronouns.
Oh yeah, she, her. Thank you.
And today we're just going to talk to you a little bit about Generation Indigenous and our goals for this project.
Yeah, so before we get started talking about Generation Indigenous, I just want to ask you like a question about you so we can learn a little bit more about you so whoever's watching can, just learn about you.
Okay.
What is your favorite song right now and why?
Right now I am really into Bad Bunny and his new album. I really love his whole album is just really good. But I think my favorite one right now, I think it's called Lo Que Pasó en Hawaii. It's what happened in Hawaii. And he just talks about like him really fighting for his island, and he doesn't want like the same thing to happen to Hawaii happened to his island as far as like the colonization and all that stuff. It's just, the way he put it into song was just so pretty. Yeah, that's my favorite right now.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Bad Bunny is killing it right now.
Yes, and he's coming out with all this new tour dates in Puerto Rico, which is really cool.
Yes, all summer through August. I tried to get tickets and I didn't even sleep, but I did end up not getting the code. It was a whole debacle, okay? Everybody in the whole world was trying to get these tickets, but I'm hoping I can catch some of the tour dates somewhere.
I'm sure he'll come out with other days.
Yeah, he's going to Mexico, he's going to Spain, he's going to Europe, he's going everywhere. I don't even know if he's planning on coming here in the United States, but I want to catch him somewhere for sure.
Speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Manifest it.
For sure.
My favorite song right now is Defying Gravity, specifically Cynthia Erivo's version, because she is amazing. And I think it talks a lot about, defying the odds and standing up for what you believe in, and I think that's really cool.
No, I love it.
I love that album so much. I love it so much. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's so powerful too, the way she just sings in that. I am a very new to this story and the whole Wicked story, but I am loving it so far. It's the first one. I can't wait for the second one.
I know. I can't wait for you to see the second one.
Okay, Kamaile. Right now, obviously, you talked about Wicked and how that song is like one of your favorites. But besides Wicked, what is like your favorite movie right now?
The way I was about to say Wicked. My favorite movie right now is probably Companion. I just saw Companion.
Okay.
It's a new movie. It has, I don't even know the actors' names, but we just saw it. It's like a Valentine's Day-esque movie, and it has a really good commentary, and I won't say much about it, but I encourage you to watch it. I feel like you would really like that movie. I feel like you would love it. What's yours?
So right now I haven't been watching a lot of movies, but I've been watching like a series, and it's kind of like that Dune side story.
There's a side story?
Where it's a series. I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of it, but it's but it's based off of Dune, and it's kind of like the witches and stuff, and it just like where they came from and how that whole thing came about. But that's kind of like my favorite right now currently. Again, I'm so sorry, but that's my favorite right now, and I'm really into the Dune, that whole genre right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Duneverse, if you will.
Duneverse. Goodness. All right. So kind of leading into movie aspects, with Generation Indigenous, our project, we're doing a lot of really cool things. Possibly movies.
Yes.
Definitely TV ads. Definitely a lot of video media type of content. Do you want to go into what it is we're going to be creating, though, with that content?
Yes, so one of our biggest goals is for this project is to make mental health conversations, to normalize those conversations basically. And we want to bring those messages to the movies that we'll be creating, hopefully doing like flags and billboards and things like that. So that hopefully the messages that are on those billboards or on those commercials can strike up a conversation. And that's kind of our biggest goal.
Yeah, I feel like there's a hard press on normalizing conversations. It kind of goes back to breaking the stigma. I know a lot of people have heard the word stigma, and I feel like it's just thrown around, but a lot of times we don't really define it. In this sense, the stigma is just the way people feel, usually negatively, about something in particular. So in this case, it's mental health, talking about mental health, seeking help. Yeah, and I feel like we're really trying to break that. We really want to make it normal for people to talk about their mental health, to seek out services. And I think a lot of times we push for behavioral health services, which are amazing, and therapy, but I think something that we're also trying to do is make it normal for, not so much like normal, but make it,
I feel like comfortable.
I think make it known that there's more services and there's more things that can benefit your mental health than just therapy. With all the events that we have at IHC, getting community together, with our traditional health gathering, we have a really big focus on culture and on community and on fitness. And I feel like that's something that we don't really talk about when it comes to mental health.
No,
right?
No, for sure. It's definitely not an easy subject. And I think a lot of that probably stems from possible embarrassment because you're having all these emotions, especially if you're young and you're having different kinds of emotions. And that's not just something that you see your family or your peers expressing to each other. You kind of don't want to feel like that odd man out type situation. But I do agree with you that there's definitely, aside from therapy, having other avenues to express those things. A lot of people may not know, like even just a simple friend giving you a hug, your family member giving you a hug and saying, "Hey, I'm here. I can hear, listen to whatever it is that you have to say. I'm there for you." All those things create such an impactful thing into someone's life, especially when they're struggling. And the goal for sure is to just normalize those conversations without feeling any type of shame or embarrassment. It's okay to cry. It's okay to, give a hug. Doesn't matter what gender you are. I think also there's that huge thing, whether you have to be the strong female or the strong male and no tears, and that equals to, being strong. But being strong really is just you being able to express yourself, honestly, and someone, to communicate with you in that sense. But we're really hoping that through messaging and media and film, and we can kind of bring out those emotions in everybody and really put that message across that having these conversations is okay.
I like what you said about being able to cry.
Yeah. Yes.
And how it's not a weakness. I feel like being able to cry and being out and about, like, how do I say this? Like being public, I guess, about your emotions and not feeling ashamed to cry. I feel like that is very strong, in my opinion. Being able to be vulnerable in front of people and talk to people about how you're feeling, being willing to talk or being willing to listen to somebody about how they're feeling. I feel like that's, in my opinion, so much harder to do and so much really just harder to do than push it all aside and be strong and pretend like nothing's happening. So I really resonate with that. I really like that you said that because I feel like that's just a really important thing to get across.
Another thing is, I think just twisting the narrative a little bit to where crying sometimes equals weakness, I feel, in some communities, or how you grow up or what you're told. That's why maybe I feel like some people can't or have that strength to do that in front of other people, but maybe starting to have those conversations where, like you said, you're not weak because you cry, or you're not weak because you show emotion. I feel like we can normalize more conversations about mental health or about how you're feeling without it equaling that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, I agree. Amen. So I guess with these conversations that we're going to be having, what we're really trying to do is, or what we are doing, is having focus groups. So right now we're having our Youth Changemakers focus groups. We're starting that up at the third Wednesday of the month in February. It will continue to be on the third Wednesday of every month in the Dreamweaver room at 5:00. But with these youth focus groups, we are trying to have those conversations with the youth. We want them to feel comfortable and feel willing to express their mental health experiences. I don't want to say necessarily challenges, but their experiences with mental health specifically on the reservation. So Native youth, driving these messages that we're creating, that we're putting out onto the reservation.
Yeah, so while we're having the focus groups and we're getting the opinions of the youth, we kind of want to make it a point that it's just them telling us what their experiences are, telling us what their challenges are, and how they feel more comfortable starting these conversations about mental health. And then also tying that in with family and the people that they spend time with every day. Only they're going to know how they're going to start those conversations. So I feel like if once we get the group of kids together, or young, or our youth, let's say youth, not kids. Once we get everybody together, it's going to be very interesting to see them giving each other advice, even like, hey, this is how I broke the ice with my mom, or this is how I broke the ice with my dad or my uncle or my brother or my neighbor. Like them giving each other that type of strength and having them be the voice of, just starting that little ripple on how to talk about mental health is going to be, I feel like, pretty life-changing for them.
Yeah. And I want to emphasize that with these focus groups, it's not going to be, we're trying not to be triggering. We don't want to have, delve too deep into what necessarily like a therapist or a clinician would be doing. Really with these focus groups is we are starting the discussion on what they think is going to be culturally relevant and age appropriate to put out to the reservations in terms of positive messaging. Yeah. So with some of the focus groups that we've already had. So for example, we've had some youth already at IHC help us and give us ideas for some of the campaigns that we've been doing. And they've come up with some really good ideas on what messages they want to put out. So they really want to focus on resilience. They want to focus on strength. They want to focus on intergenerational communication. And they want to, do storytelling, and they've just had some really amazing ideas, and we will take those ideas and we will use their input and drive some messaging out, whether it's the TV ads or even just buttons or flyers, posters, just for that to go like up on the reservations for everybody to see. One
of my favorite ideas that they had was the Jubilee video to strike up conversations with the elders versus the youth. Well, there really isn't like a versus, but I feel like it's just to like build that bridge with the elders so that they're able to open up to them and, let them know how they're feeling. And it would be great to hear from the elders as well, like how they manage their own feelings growing up and what it is that they did to be so resilient. Like what happened that created that resilience within themselves, so that that bridge continues to grow and there's no gap. Because I feel like once you have that gap, then it's like, where do we go, or what do I say? So that's going to be fun too.
Yeah, they really emphasize wanting to do intergenerational videos, trying to understand each other, trying to kind of feed off of each other's wisdom in that sense, because the way their grandparents grew up is so different from the way they grew up.
Yeah.
Even the difference between Gen Z and Gen Alpha, the way they're growing up, even the difference between Gen Z and millennials is so different. So it'll be really fun to see the different generations hearing each other out in a space that's respectable and just hopefully fostering discussions.
So what's really exciting too is the way we go about with our workshops. So can we jump a little bit about our first fun workshop that we just did, our vision board night?
Yeah. So thank you to everybody who came out to our vision board night. It was so much fun. We had a few families show up. We had some really great conversations about goal setting, and we had a lot of healthy food, which is always a plus. What did you think about the event?
I really loved it. So if you've never done a vision board night, you basically create this vision board, or it's like a blank canvas, if you will, and you think about all the cool things that you want to achieve for the new year. It could even be life goals, whatever it is that you want to achieve. You pretty much put it on this board and you cut out, what you envision yourself doing. I think what got to me the most, and I probably mentioned this a few times already, but was seeing the dad come in with his two kids and really using that night as a bonding moment for them. And there was several families, but it was just really cool because you really don't see like a lot of the dads coming in and participating, which I thought was really awesome. And then we walked around and asked the families, like, hey, like, what are you envisioning for yourself in the future? And the way the kids really grasped the concept, and they were so young, that was really cool to watch.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing some more of these workshop type style events. They're probably going to be in a little bit of a different capacity. I actually just had a conversation with one of our youth change makers who we already talked to yesterday, and he said it would be really fun if we did a storytelling night with an elder or a grandparent or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And it's kind of like a discussion panel, but just so they can hear that voice and they can hear that wisdom, because it was the same people that gave us that idea with resilience and strength. And as a youth from the reservations, they said that would be really impactful. So that's just one type of event that we might be doing in the future. It's really going to depend on what our youth change makers want to do. So with the youth change makers, they will be able to get leadership experience. They can help us plan some events. I'm going to say lightly plan events. Give us ideas on what kind of events they would like to see.
Give us the ideas and we'll help you make them happen.
Yes. We'll do the legwork, of course. They're going to be able to have community discussions with other youth, and it's going to be intertribal. So there's going to be people from Santa Isabel talking to people from Palma, talking to people from La Jolla, from Rincon.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really exciting, is bringing all those youth together. And they're going to get a $50 gift card.
Yes.
Every single meeting.
Every single meeting that you guys participate in, you'll get a $50 gift card. And then you just will, every time you come and participate, you can just stack up those cards and go shopping.
Yeah. I guess we should also clarify. So there's going to be like 3 campaign periods. So the first one's going to be 6 months, second one 6 months, and the third one 6 months. So for the first campaign period, there will be 6 meetings, 1 per month. And they'll get a gift card for every single time they come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we ask, like, when you guys come, make sure you tell a friend, tell a family member, to come and participate. You never know. The change will always start with you. I just really, really, really emphasize on that. Nothing can get started unless you start it. And if you don't see anybody else start it, just start it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Like, someone saying no to you or no thank you, or at least you started something, you know what I mean? No, I'm really excited for these groups. I really love that you emphasized how it's all the kids from Santa Isabel, from Rincon, from Los Coyotes, like everybody just coming together. And that, at least that's the hope that, you know, we want everybody to come.
This is my call to action. This is about to be my call to action. If you are between the ages of 14 and 25, you are native from the local reservations, please just click on this. Look at this QR code here, and just check out everything that we offer with these groups. We will provide food and snacks. It's something that you can put on your resume, and at the very least, which is not least at all, you're going to be creating a change in your community, and you're going to be using your voice, and you're going to be so valued and so appreciated. So if you are even slightly interested, please, there'll probably be a link in the description. There'll probably be a QR code here for sign up.
Or down here.
Or down there. But please just reach out and think about it, and think about the impact that you can have for future generations, for older generations, for yourself and for your friends and your family. That's really what we're trying to do, is we really want to make that impact.
Yeah. And I know it might sound very cliche with what I just said, like it starts with you, but that is just, there's so much truth to that. Your voice is so powerful in your communities, and only you know your story. Like we can't tell your story because we didn't walk in your shoes. So when we really mean when we say how we just really want these conversations to just start. And having these groups are going to be impactful in that way, because that's where conversations are going to be starting. Literally, you will make a difference in your community just by walking in and sitting down in the chair and then just locking into what we're saying. I'm just so excited even talking about it.
I know.
I'm pumped. Another thing I'm really excited about is the opportunities that you might see throughout these groups, even through the workshops that are going to be like intertwined as, you know, the journey happens with this program. There might be something that you see, like, you know, how we do a lot of like the photo taking, or, you know, how you might see the messages projected on a billboard, or how things are designed. Something in you might spark, and your curiosity might spark, and maybe that will be something that you get into. So you just never know. Coming into the groups, you may want to be a speaker for someone else, and then you can talk to somebody else about mental health, and you can talk about how that impacted you.
Yeah, and a big thing that I got away from that is, if you aren't interested in mental health, that's okay. You're still getting a $50 gift card.
Yeah.
So come get your $50 gift card.
The QR code.
Listen to the conversations, and maybe you do walk away with some kind of mental health knowledge afterwards, or maybe you do walk away with a new passion or a new drive to create change.
Yeah. 100%.
But at the end of the day, you're still getting a $50 gift card. So there's that. And then I did also want to say, if you are, like I said, if you're interested, there'll be a QR code. You can also reach me with any questions that you have. You can also reach Ellie.
Yes,
My phone number is 760-468-8969. If you wanted to text me or call me, I have my phone all the time. So I'm so happy to answer any questions that you have about the focus group. Ellie, did you want to put your phone number?
I would if I knew it by heart.
Oh, that's okay. We'll put it in a lower.
You can reach me down here. My email, I'm sure, is down here at econnolly@indianhealthcouncil.com. phone number is provided also down below.
We're going to make Brian work. Sorry, Brian.
But you can reach me anytime. Like Miley said, I'm always open to talking to anybody. That's another thing I think I really want to emphasize is that you're not alone with anything. You can come to IHC, has so many programs, including our own, that can, we're here to help you guys out with whatever you need. Our phone numbers and our emails are just not for a QR code, by the way, or for like a gift card. You can reach out, and me and Kamali and I will be so happy to help you out with whatever it is that you need in regards to this stuff.
Yes. I think the last thing I want to say, unless there's anything else, we're in some trying times. There's some things going on. I won't go into it, but we are living in a world that is looking very sad right now. And if these things are affecting you, please know that there are people who love you. There are people who care about you. There are people who understand and who want to hear your voice and who want to listen to you. I'm just saying this as a person and as somebody who is, seeing everything going on. You are loved. You're loved. Please try to take some time away from your phone. Take some time away from the TV, do something that you enjoy, and make sure you're prioritizing your mental health at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go into detail, but I feel like I'm going to... yes, like a lot of us are going through so many different emotions right now, and it's just so weird. It's such a weird time. I can't, it's just weird for me. I guess that's the key word. Let's just say weird for the sake of saying anything, actually. But bouncing off Kamali, if you are just having a rough time and you really don't know who to talk to because maybe someone else has a different view from you, again, Kamali's here, I'm here. IHC is here. There's always someone to talk to. Reach out. Definitely take time for yourself. You are very much loved. You matter. I can't emphasize that enough. You matter so much. And yes, just sending you the biggest hug.
Yeah.
If you're that person.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please keep a lookout for future Empowering Native Wellness episodes. Please keep a lookout on our Instagram for any upcoming events.
Yes.
Just really appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. And we're excited to do another podcast soon to give you some updates.
Yay!